Iran is among the world's most misunderstood nations. Some assume it's nothing but desert. Others picture only politics and headlines. Yet the truth? It's something entirely different. Iran is a land where ancient civilizations left behind mind-bending architecture, where volcanoes tower above emerald forests, and where islands stain the sea a vivid red. In this video, we're going to tour the most extraordinary places in Iran. But before we get to the locations, there are a few facts you need to hear. Because they'll completely change how you see this country. Additionally, some of them are so unexpected, even most Iranians aren't aware of them. Let's open with something extreme. Iran holds the highest land surface temperature ever recorded on Earth. In the Lut Desert, NASA satellites once registered the ground at a blistering 159.3 degrees F, 70.7 degrees C. Hotter than the Sahara, Death Valley, or the Australian outback. And yet, life endures here. Microbes grip the salt crust. Nomadic tribes survive along the margins. Also, winds sculpt the terrain into forms that resemble alien ruins. But here's the even bigger surprise. While southern Iran ranks among the driest places on Earth, the north is a rainforest. Yes, an actual rainforest. The Hyrcanian forests, running along the Caspian Sea, are more than 50 million years old. That means they predate the Amazon, and once blanketed nearly the entire northern hemisphere. Today, they persist only in a slender belt across Iran and Azerbaijan. Their biodiversity is so exceptional that UNESCO has recognized them as one of the last surviving ancient broadleaf forests on Earth. And that's not all. Iran experiences 4 distinct seasons. Simultaneously. In winter, you might be skiing on Mount Damavand, the highest volcano in Asia at 18,406 feet. 5,610 meters. While a few hundred miles away, tourists are sunbathing on islands in the Persian Gulf. How can that be? Because Iran stretches across climates. From snowy alpine to subtropical to desert. All concentrated within a single country. Now, let's talk scope. Iran ranks as the 17th largest nation on Earth. Larger than France, Germany, and the UK combined. That means there's space for remarkable natural variety. For instance, the Caspian Sea to the north is the largest enclosed inland body of water on the planet, often referred to as the world's biggest lake. The Zagros Mountains extend for over 990 miles, 1,600 kilometers, and harbor hundreds of secluded valleys and tribal villages. And Iran's coastline along the Persian Gulf and Gulf of Oman runs more than 1,550 miles, 2,500 kilometers. Much of it untamed, little explored, and breathtaking. However, it isn't the natural world that catches people off guard. Iran is also a civilizational heavyweight. It is home to one of the planet's oldest continuous cultures, with urban settlements going back more than 7,000 years. Moreover, at its height, the Persian Empire spanned from the Balkans to India. The largest empire the world had yet witnessed. Even today, Persian influence is visible across Asia, from architecture and language to gardens and astronomy. Additionally, here's a lesser-known twist. Iran holds the world's largest network of underground aqueducts, called Qanats. These ancient feats of engineering, some more than 1,500 years old, still bring fresh water to distant villages using gravity alone, no pumps. In total, they run for thousands of kilometers beneath deserts and mountains. This is one reason Iran's ancient cities could flourish in arid regions long before modern plumbing. Still, contemporary Iran is far from frozen in history. The capital, Tehran, counts over 13 million residents and runs one of the Middle East's busiest metro networks. It's a city of contrasts, where women in vivid hijabs pass gleaming glass skyscrapers and street vendors dish up saffron rice beside upscale malls. Iran also boasts one of Asia's largest tallies of cultural heritage, with 27 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, surpassing Japan, outnumbering Egypt, yet it attracts only a fraction of the tourists other countries receive. Most people have little idea what truly exists here. Few realize that early algebra was developed in Iran, or that Persian carpets remain widely regarded as the finest in the world, or that ice cream likely originated here, made with underground snow pits and rose water more than 2,000 years ago. Additionally, here's an even stranger twist. There's a village in Iran where people still live inside caves, not as a museum, but as real homes. No spoilers yet. We'll visit that place later in the video. However, first, let's explore Iran's most striking wonders. From luminous islands to hidden castles, ice-capped volcanoes to lush green villages, you're about to witness a side of Iran most people never imagined. Additionally, by the end, you may want to go there yourself. It's Iran's biggest island, and one of the most surprising. Qeshm Island sits in the Persian Gulf, off the southern coast of Iran. However, this isn't your typical beach destination. Instead of resorts and palm trees, Qeshm offers a rugged, otherworldly terrain. Here you'll find the Valley of the Stars, a maze of twisted rock formations that seem sculpted by aliens. According to local legend, a star once crashed here and shattered the ground. Scientists attribute it to millennia of wind and erosion. Nearby lies Chaku Canyon, a narrow sandstone gorge carved into deep corridors. some just wide enough for a person to squeeze through. When it rains, water gathers in natural basins, sustaining small desert wildlife. The island is also home to the Hara mangrove forests, where saltwater trees rise from the sea and herons hunt at low tide. It's among Iran's few UNESCO geoparks. Additionally, the real shocker? This vast island, more than 80 miles, 130 kilometers long, remains largely untouched by mass tourism. However, we're only just getting started, since just across the water lies a volcanic island with blood-red beaches and rainbow-colored hills. From the air, it looks as if a painter had poured their palette into the sea. Hormuz Island, a short boat ride from Qeshm, is among the most colorful places on Earth. And among the strangest. The ground here is rich in minerals, especially iron oxide, which paints the land a deep red. On the red beach, waves break over crimson sand, turning the shoreline into a scene that feels Martian. Yet, red isn't the only hue. Inland, you'll find hills in shades of yellow, orange, white, even purple. Shaped over centuries by volcanic activity and mineral deposits, it's little wonder geologists call this a rainbow island. One of the island's most unusual features is edible soil. Yes, locals actually use the red powder as a spice in traditional dishes. Moreover, despite its surreal landscapes and significant geological value, Hormuz remains almost unknown outside of Iran. The entire island is only 26 square miles, easily explored in a single day. Still, don't let the size fool you, because our next stop is even more extreme. We're venturing far into the desert, to a region that once shattered world temperature records. It isn't the hottest desert in Iran. It's the hottest spot ever documented on Earth. In Dasht-e, NASA satellites once logged surface temperatures of 159.3 Fahrenheit, 70.7 Celsius. That's not air temperature. It's ground heat, intense enough to fry eggs on stone. Yet the real puzzle? Nothing ought to survive here. Yet researchers discovered life, microbial organisms gripping salt and rock. That finding raised fresh questions about life on Mars, because Lut looks uncannily similar. This desert isn't just hot, it's surreal. The Gandam. Berean Plateau is an immense black basalt field where heat builds like a pressure cooker. To the east, the Qanats rise from the sand like the ruins of an alien city. Vast wind-carved ridges stretching for miles. There is no shade, no water, no enduring settlements. Even so, this extreme environment attracts geologists, filmmakers, and explorers from around the world. Why is that? Because nowhere else resembles it. And now, we're moving from a lifeless, arid expanse to a place where people have lived for thousands of years, using mud, brick, and ingenious design to survive the desert. Shiraz isn't just a city, it's a state of mind. For centuries across the Islamic world, it was renowned as a hub of poetry, gardens, and wine. That reputation endures today. This is the birthplace of Hafez and Sa'di, two of the most revered poets in Persian history. Their mausoleums aren't silent memorials. They're gathering places where visitors still recite verses and tuck handwritten poems among the flowers. However, Shiraz is not only about literature. The Nasir al-Mulk Mosque, often nicknamed the Pink Mosque, is among the most photographed landmarks in Iran. Each morning, sunlight streams through stained glass, bathing the prayer hall in waves of color. It looks unreal, but it's real. Nearby, the Shah Shiraz shrine dazzles from within. Its walls and ceilings are clad in tiny mirror tiles, crafted to scatter light like a chandelier. No camera truly does it justice. Additionally, outside the religious sites, gardens of roses and cypress trees remain, echoes of age-old Persian design that later influenced Mughal India. However, to understand why Shiraz once ruled empires, you need to leave the city. Additionally, walk among the ruins of a civilization that once governed the known world. This was no mere palace, it was a declaration. Persepolis served as the ceremonial capital of the Achaemenid Empire, among the largest empires in history. Built more than 2,500 years ago by Darius the Great, it was designed to awe and to intimidate. Its entrance is still watched by the Gate of All Nations, flanked by colossal stone bulls. Beyond that point, a staircase climbs to immense halls once adorned with gold and silver. Now bare, yet still hauntingly commanding. What stands out most? The meticulous reliefs. Dozens of delegations from across the realm, Ethiopians, Babylonians, Indians, Greeks, are depicted presenting gifts to the king. It's a visual proof that Persia once stood as a superpower stretching from the Balkans to the Indus River. However, it all fell in 330 BCE, when Alexander the Great burned the complex during his conquest. Some say it was retribution, others claim it was an accident, stirred by wine and celebration. Either way, what remains today is astonishing. Additionally, while Persepolis displays age-old power, at Iran's center, where the desert sun pounds down for more than 300 days a year, stands a city that mastered survival long before air conditioning existed. Yazd is famed as the city of wind catchers. These tall, chimney-like towers, called badgers, cool houses by directing even the faintest breeze into underground rooms. It ranks among the world's oldest passive cooling systems. However, that's only the beginning. Yazd also shelters one of the oldest surviving Zoroastrian communities. Their sacred fire temple keeps a flame believed to have burned uninterrupted for more than 1,500 years. The city itself is a labyrinth of mud brick lanes, rooftops, and hidden courtyards. From above, it looks like waves of sand-colored domes rolling to the horizon. What further sets Yazd apart is its subterranean water network. Qanats, ancient hand-hewn tunnels, have carried water for over 2 millennia, powered solely by gravity. Meanwhile, though visitors often focus on Iran's grand mosques and palaces, Yazd is about subtle brilliance, ingenuity, endurance. However, now we're heading to a city renowned for poetry, roses, and one of the most breathtaking shrines in the Islamic world.